She left me for her old flame. Now she's pregnant, broke, and wants me back, but I've moved on. My name's Nathan Cole, 36, and I run a steadily growing auto repair shop just outside Maple Hollow, a town where secrets travel faster than tires smoke. It took me nearly a decade to build what I have. Years of scraped knuckles, missed holidays, late nights wrenching under flickering lights, and vacations sacrificed to make sure the business survived. I'm not rich, but I've built something I'm proud of. A modest home on the edge of town. The kind of place you buy with dreams of laughter echoing through the halls. And maybe a few kids running around one day. Then came Samantha. She was 31. A dental assistant with a sharp wit and an easy laugh that had a way of hanging in the air long after she left the room. Beautiful in a way that didn't need explaining. We met at a summer bonfire through mutual friends. Sparks flew fast. We dated for years before I got down on one knee. The first year of marriage felt like a dream. We talked about starting a family, even browsed baby names over breakfast now and then. I truly thought we were building forever until last Thursday. I came home early that day to help her sort through tax paperwork, something she always put off. Receipts, W to South, payroll stubs scattered across the kitchen table. She was cooking, and I figured I'd lend a hand. While clicking through her laptop, I noticed a folder labeled for Nathan. I opened it, expecting maybe vacation plans or a budget sheet. What I found instead knocked the air from my lungs. 3 ultrasound scans, dated just 2 weeks prior. For a brief, blissful second, I thought she was planning to surprise me. My heart raced. We were having a baby. I rushed into the kitchen, laptop in hand, unable to contain the joy. But the second Samantha saw the screen, her whole face went white. The spatula slipped from her fingers. She sat down without a word, buried her face in her hands, and whispered something that shattered my reality. "You're not the father." I froze. Those words sliced clean through me. I stared at the ultrasound pictures, already imagining my dad teaching our kid how to fish, picturing birthday parties and family trips. "What do you mean?" I asked, voice hollow. And just like that, she unraveled. The baby wasn't mine. It belonged to Lucas, her ex from college, the same Lucas she'd dismissed as ancient history, the smooth-talking burnout who'd recently slithered back into town after yet another failed business attempt in the city. She said they'd run into each other at the farmer's market a few months ago. One thing led to another. She felt like herself again. Emotional connection. It just happened. Same tired excuses I'd heard before, just never from my wife. I didn't scream, didn't throw anything. I just walked out. No phone, no wallet. I got in my truck and drove until the sun disappeared. When I finally came home that night, she was waiting with justifications. She said she and Lucas had rekindled something real. The baby was a sign they were meant to be. I told her, calm but firm, to pack her things and leave. That's when her switch flipped. She yelled that I couldn't just toss her out, that she lived here, too. I reminded her the house was mine, bought long before she ever stepped inside, and fidelity wasn't optional. Then she hit me with the lowest blow she could find. "Maybe Lucas is more of a man than you. He actually makes me feel wanted." And just like that, whatever heartbreak remained hardened into pure clarity. I gave her 24 hours. If Lucas was such a man, he could come and collect her himself. She left the next morning, no apologies, no goodbyes, just 2 suitcases and the keys to my old Honda, the one she'd been using since her own car died the year before. That same day, I called Eli, my best friend since high school and a damn good attorney. He said one thing: lock it all down. The house, the bank accounts, the shop, everything. No prenup, no problem. In our state, clear evidence of adultery, especially with a pregnancy involved, tilts the scales in a fault-based divorce. I changed every password, froze all joint accounts, removed her from every insurance policy, reclaimed my life, click by click. 3 days later, she texted, whining that her health insurance had stopped working, asking why she couldn't log into Netflix. My reply was short: "You don't live here anymore. Ask Lucas." Then came the guilt parade. Her best friend Maya messaged me, accusing me of being heartless for abandoning Samantha during pregnancy. My response: She wasn't pregnant with my child when she abandoned our marriage. Blocked. Not long after, Samantha showed up at my shop. Hoodie, sunglasses, baby bump just beginning to show. She said the Honda wouldn't start and asked if I'd take a look. I asked, "Are you a customer?" She blinked. "No." "Then I don't owe you anything. Ask Lucas." Turns out his truck wasn't running either. They couldn't afford repairs. "So much for your real man," I said. "Sounds like a you and Lucas problem." She cried, begged, tried dragging our past into the present, said we had something special, that she missed what we had. I told her, "You cashed in those memories the day you crawled back into his bed and expected me to raise his child." She left. No more tears, no more arguments, just gone. And Maple Hollow, it had my back. Words spread like wildfire, but I didn't need to say a thing. Customers came by just to check on me. Some left tips double what they owed. Others brought casseroles like I'd just buried someone. My dad called and said, "She did you the biggest favor of your life." My brother texted to words, dodged. Bullet. I started moving on, tossed out every photo, bought a new mattress, got a new set of dishes, even treated myself to a new TV. Little things, but they added up. 6 weeks later, I ran into Maya at the grocery store. She said, "Samantha still asks about you." I smiled. "How's life with Lucas?" Her face soured. Turns out Lucas was unemployed again. Samantha had to cut her hours. Their apartment was falling apart. I didn't gloat. I just nodded. Because truth is, I didn't hate her. I pitied her. She traded loyalty, stability, and love for a fantasy that crumbled the second reality knocked on the door. A week later, Lucas himself showed up at my shop, covered in mud, reeking of cheap cologne, puffing out his chest like a rooster in a parking lot brawl. "You need to back off," he barked. I laughed. "Back off from what?" "You're ruining Samantha's life," he hissed. I couldn't help but chuckle. I didn't ruin anything. She did that all by herself. She's pregnant. She's vulnerable. I stood up, staring him down. "Then maybe you shouldn't have gotten her pregnant while she was married." He tried to square up. "You think you're better than me?" I smiled, slow and cold. "I know I am. I run 2 businesses. I own my home, my truck works, I pay my bills. I don't need to steal someone's wife to feel like a man." He muttered something and left with his tail tucked. Then came the final act. Samantha's old boss called to say she was missing shifts, crying at work, blaming me for her ruined reputation. Then her mom, Deborah, showed up at my house, cookies in hand. Soft voice, fake sweetness. "She regrets everything. She still loves you." I handed the cookies back. The woman who loved me would never have done what she did. That woman's gone. And finally, the letter, handwritten, tear-streaked, full of sorrow. She begged for forgiveness, said Lucas had lost 2 more jobs, they were behind on rent. She missed our life. She ended it with this: "Maybe one day you'll forgive me. Maybe you'll even want to be part of this baby's life. I always believed you'd make an amazing father." I took that letter straight to Eli. We filed for divorce the next day. We used her words as evidence. She tried to fight. Her rookie lawyer claimed emotional distress and begged for spousal support. The judge nearly laughed her out of court. She walked away with nothing but her purse. The very next morning, I had the Honda repossessed. Since then, life's been quiet, peaceful. Business is booming. I opened a second shop in the next town. I'm dating again. Nothing serious yet, but for the first time, I'm open to love again. As for Samantha, last I heard, she's back living with her mother. Lucas skipped town, left her behind with unpaid bills and a broken-down apartment. And every so often, I remember that letter where she begged me to realize what I'd lost. I smile, because by the time she figured it out, I was already gone.